Done. She held his palm open and kissed it. Joker watched as took down one of the towels and tore a slim bandage. She gently tied it around his hand at a comfortable length. There, all better. Joker turned a tired smile to her. Thanks. My pleasure. Pleasure? Now that was next on my list. He took a step towards her. No. You said you would tell me why we had to leave. Pax crossed her arms as she shivered. Don't you want to get warm? He pressed her against the counter. Well, yes, but I can stand by the heater for that. She gulped a lump in her throat. He slightly tilted his head back and chuckled. I have a better idea. He gently led her into the small living area. Pax was surprised how fast the room had heated up. Joker slid the left side dress strap off as he kissed behind it. The right was next. Pax raised her head from slight embarrassment from her being naked in front of him. Joker grabbed her hips and pulled them to his lips as he kissed down the middle of her cleavage, torso, and navel. Pax gasped loudly as he stroked the middle of her thigh. She looked down to him and smiled as she saw him on his knees looking up at her as he kissed her tummy. She shivered as he gently ran the tip of his nose across her peach fuzz belly. Joker stood up to her face and whispered on her lips, I'm going to fuck you until you can't walk for a week. Pax's brow wrinkled as he pushed her back against the wall. Don't say that. You were being so sweet. Please take it slow. He jerked her legs up around his waist. Why? We have all night. Because I'm new to this. You never even asked me out. Fucking usually comes later. Okay, we'll take it slow. Pax arched her back against the wall as he slid into her. He leaned back to take in the view of her. She tightened her grip on his shoulders as he slowly thrust it into her. Pax's tension was slowly building to an ache. Joker smiled as he teased her. Are you alright? You look like you're frustrated. Pax closed her eyes as she spoke. This is torture. You can fuck me now. Oh no. I'm enjoying this too much. I promise. It will be worth it. Pax moaned loudly as he continued his slow thrust. Joker realized she was getting close since it was hard for him to pull out to thrust. Her legs started to stiffen as her breathing became erratic. Oh god. Shit. Pax dug her nails into his shoulder as they came. Chapter 17. Joker gently stroked Pax's back as she laid on top of him. Her eyes grew heavy as she spoke. Why are we here? She pushed off of his chest to look at him. Harley was the informant for Derlin. Pax frowned at his answer. She does hate me. Joker didn't speak. He won't give up, you know. Frost stole me 5 years ago. How old are you? He continued to stroke her back. Pax smirked. I turned 20 last week. Joker tucked his chin to look at her better. And we didn't celebrate. Pax scoffed. It's no big deal. She laid her head back down. Joker remembered how Harley made a big deal about hers every year. He admitted to himself that in the beginning he loved to spoil her, but her neediness grew old quick. He wondered if could trick Harley into telling him if Derlin had any weaknesses, but that meant he would never see Pax alone again. If he could just get rid of him, she would be safe. He snapped out of his unpleasant idea as she spoke. Yes. What about the mainframe? Pax's eyes closed. Joker smirked. It's been taken care of. Joker watched her sleep as he caressed her cheek. He swallowed a lump in his throat as he headed towards the door. This is the only way. The next morning Pax sat in shock as she read her texted letter. Pax, I hate to break it to ya, but I went back to Harley. I'm still a man of my word. Once Wayne Enterprises is finished, I'll set you free. Make sure you don't try anything stupid. I have Frost in a delicate situation. P.S. Thanks for the lay. He would rub that in my face, she thought. As she clicked on the attachment, Pax's heart sank. It was a picture of Frost in a hospital bed unconscious. He had monitors and a tube running down his throat. Harley was leaning next to his face doing a kissy face selfie. Pax never had felt such anger. I don't give a damn if you fuck with me, but not Frost. Oh, Jay, too bad I knew not to trust you. Good thing I backed all the mainframe files in a private location. Looks like your board is going to rip itself to shreds. Plan B is a go. 2 months later, Bruce Wayne is sitting in his sanctuary. His boredom is interrupted as a pop-up screen appears in front of him. He studies the screen with his full attention as the beautiful young woman speaks. Hello, Mr. Wayne. I would tell you not to be alarmed, but I'm sure you will find that impossible. Don't worry, you and I seek the same thing, justice. I need your help to save a friend. If you help me, I promise I will rip Gotham's underworld crime ring a new one so big, a fucking black hole would be envious. Bruce actually smirked. Please believe me, I didn't want to be this person. They hired me, or I should say, enslaved me to hack Wayne Enterprises for your files. Honestly, I found your secret by mistake. Be rest assured that I don't plan to spread my discovery. If I did, I would lose. Attached is my phone number and location. But hurry, my next meeting with the board is in 2 days. It's actually a celebration of their success. Please consider my offer. Bruce clicked on the file with her information and immediately started to research Penelope Andrea Xavier. Chapter 18. Bruce anxiously tapped his fingers on the white tablecloth as he waited for Pax. His attention was drawn to the hostess as he talked to the young bombshell that walked in the door. Bruce shifted so he would be sitting straight. The young woman smiled and offered her hand. Bruce. He stood and shook her hand. I'm Penelope. Thank you for seeing me. Bruce did a boyish smirk. I wish the pleasure was for different reasons. Maybe they can be later. Pax's eyes grew wide as she couldn't believe she said it. She cursed herself. Stupid hormones. Bruce pulled her chair out and sat across from her. So this friend of yours, who is he? Pax gulped. Johnny Frost. Bruce smiled. You gotta be kidding me. Smile. Johnny Frost? Joker's right-hand man? The answer is no. Pax's face showed pain. She pushed her eyes closed as she looked down. Bruce regretted his quick response, but before he could apologize, Pax spoke again. I'm sorry for taking up your time, Mr. Wayne. Goodbye. Pax eased out of her chair but was stopped as Bruce grabbed her wrist. I'm sorry. Please sit down. Pax sat back down with an uncertain face. Perhaps I spoke in haste. What is Frost to you? Her facial expression eased. He's my family. He saved me from a terrible life of servitude, but he told Jay about me. I've been his prisoner for about 3 months now. Bruce could tell she was telling the truth. I did my research. You've been missing since the age of 15 while in foster care. Your mother and father are deceased due to an auto accident. Pax nodded as she sipped her water. Yep, that about sums it up. Who took you? Brian Derlin. Have you heard of him? Bruce's face turned cold. Unfortunately, he's a wonderful blackmailer. Who do you think found all that material? Pax cut her eyes to him as she took another sip of water. Bruce gave a handsome smirk. No wonder he's still after you. I would be too. Pax put down her glass as she thought to herself. Ah, fuck it. She gave a 5-second pause of silence. I'm going to be blunt. Bruce lifted his eyebrows with curiosity. What's that? Pax leaned down closer to the table and wiggled her finger for him to do the same. Bruce showed his perfect teeth as he did. She whispered, ever been with a 20-year-old? Bruce's perfect teeth disappeared, but he kept the smirk as he quietly shook his head. Pax smiled a seductive smile. Want to? Bruce and Pax's face were smushed together as he tried to open the door and kiss her. As the hotel door opened, he scooped her up and plopped her on the bed. As he climbed on top of her, Pax ripped open his button-down shirt. Bruce aggressively jerked down her dress. She pushed him onto his back and quickly unbuttoned his pants as he leans up and kisses her lips. She forcefully jerks his pants down to find what she's looking for. Bruce leans his head back and grabbed a handful of her hair as she took him in her mouth. Pax wanted to continue the favor but her own selfish needs overtook her. She pushed Bruce down and straddled him. He slightly flexed his abdomen as she eased him into her. They both smiled at one another as they enjoyed each other's company. Pax closed her eyes as she was getting close. She could have cared less if he wanted it to last longer. Bruce tried to control her hips, but Pax growled as she pinned down his hands and thrust her hips. He tilted his head up as he could feel her milking him for every drop. He felt her spasm all around him. This set off his release as he grunted. Bruce sat in bed as he watched her pull her dress back up. So, you don't want to stick around? I mean, you can sleep here if you want. Pax smirked as she walked over and sat on his side of the bed and stroked his face. That's sweet, but I do have to be going. Bruce pulled her hand from his face and kissed her knuckles. Isn't that my line? Pax chuckled. Not today. She went to ease off the bed but he tugged her hand. I want to see you again. Pax tucked her hair behind her ear. You will, but unfortunately it will be because of different circumstances. There was a comfortable silence until it was broken. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Bruce watched as she pulled out a small black case from her purse.